Welcome back. We've got a lot going on at the house. Obviously it's blue all of a sudden. I think that's definitely new from the last video. It's been a while since the last video because there's been a lot going on and not a ton going on at the house. So a lot going on in life and not a ton going on at the house. But we do have some progress to update everybody on and to document. So we want to do that now. I'm going to break it up into a couple of videos because it's some detail stuff and I don't want to make this 20 minutes long if we can avoid it. So the big obvious one is that the Blueskin is on. You can see the Blueskin. This is the stuff we've been talking about since the beginning. It overlaps all the detailing and things that we did under here. So that all looks good. It needs to get rolled in and all these seams need to get straightened up. You can see lots of little gaps. This is an air barrier as much as it is a weather barrier, so we need to get that just right. The other thing that you can see right there is the window buck. So each of the openings in the house is going to have a 2-inch extra piece that goes on there, and then what is going to go on, there'll be insulation on this and all the way around the house, and that is what that is all about. That pads it out for the insulation so that the windows can be hung toward the outside where they want to be. You get a nice deep sill that way, and from the outside it's going to look normal, like a normal double hung window, even though it's not a double hung window, what we're doing there. So it is bizarre to look at right now a little bit as you're looking across and seeing all these things jut out of the windows, but it is going to, again, we got the same thickness of shelf down here and all this gets padded out to about here and it all kind of goes away and gets flushed up. Because this is water and air barrier, you can see the bugs are not going to be able to get in. That's the whole idea. And then where this window buck meets the Blueskin, there's going to be a couple of things going on. First thing is that there's a caulking, a special caulking that is an air dam caulking that gets done around all these seams, including on the buck. And that happens around every one of these openings. Additionally, you can just see inside there that gray board is actually a piece of siding, and so it's cut at kind of an angle, and all of those are going to go on top right up there, and then a bottom down here. So both top and bottom of the window bucks are sloped out, so if any water ever does get back in that insulation area, it's going to slope out and run down the air gap that's being created with the rain screen. So that's kind of neat. So after the caulking goes in and this gets sealed up, it's going to get double sealed, kind of like we did down here where we caulked it and then we put an extra piece of tape over the whole thing. Same thing here. Caulk it, then there'll be a piece of tape that'll run all the way around from here to here and air seal the whole thing. And that tape is what then will get taped. A thinner piece of tape will bind the window frame that'll be flush to this surface to this edge, and it'll just get wrapped just to the edge of the window and then around the corner. So everything's super tight and it gets insulated from the back and all that good stuff, but all these openings bucked out. Now the bucks are deeper over here. You can see they're like I think 4 inches over here, where they're 2 inches on the front, and that is because we wanted the buck to come right out to and overlap with the brick just a little bit by about 1 inch, because again, 2 inches of insulation, then 1 inch of air gap, and we are going to catch the corner of that. That'll help just as an alignment so that the brick is coming up to it, and then we'll have something here to nail against for the trim. The window frame will be here, and then a little piece of trim goes on the edge there. So it's a cool little detail. I'll just kind of walk you around and see if anything else pops out. Brick should be going on soon. One of the other videos that I'll be shooting here today is down in the basement where they started some masonry. Now back here, these all get padded out with the window bucks, just the same. All the Blueskin's done. This is one area that we're gonna have to address, but there should be Blueskin under that eave, starting right there. Whoop. Starting right there and going all the way to the end right there. And they didn't put any on before they put the roof in, so we got to figure out how to get that air seal through that space, otherwise that bathroom wall is going to be draft prone, which is fine in a normal house, but like when you do a really good job air sealing everything else, the spaces that are then not done well leak a lot because all of your air is going through a smaller amount of space. So there was a lot of work and rework done to this wall to smooth it back out. This is where we had so many pieces that just didn't play nice. But it looks like everything's nice and smooth and nice and flat, but clearly it needs to still get kind of rolled out, and all these seams like this is not actually air sealed, so that needs to happen before they put everything in. And just looking down the side here, you can probably see some little nail pops and things like that. That's something that just irritates me. Quite frankly, it's irritating because it's hard to know that the next guy is really going to do it right before they cover it up with insulation, and then I never see it again. So it might be the kind of thing that I just grab one of these extension ladders on Saturday and take my time rolling those seams and hammering those nails until they're flush and taping anywhere that it gets torn. So might be a me job. If it would make me feel better, and it would, then those are kind of the things that I'm trying to do at this point. So they were just working on this today. They still have to do the roof up top. That is still not weather tight, but I think that's, well, the obvious is the windows are not weather tight, but everything else down here is weather tight. And so we like that. We're going to continue to work towards being weather tight so we don't get any more puddles on the floors. These big windows are going to be a little bit of a thing. We've got to support them from underneath, and I think what we're going to do here is use some rim joist material that goes along the edge. It's like a extra thick plywood. We've got some in the back. And we're just going to have some pieces, 6 or 8 inches deep underneath all this, because these windows are gigantic. They're the size of doors, triple pane. Means they're going to be about 300 pounds a piece. We don't want them resting just on plywood here, so we're going to end up supporting from underneath a little bit as well, just to help them out. But you can see this is the one spot where we didn't finish the Blueskin up quite yet, but we will. I think they're coming back by the end of this week or next to wrap this up, because the masons are gonna get going pretty darn soon in the basement, and that will be another upcoming video. I'll show you what's going on in the basement as well. Also a couple of framing updates. I think we'll do a quick video framing updates on the inside. So, all right, catch you in the next video. Take care.